Comanche were among the most formidable warrior societies of the Southern Plains, striking fear into rival tribes and settlers alike. Their raids, particularly during the Comanche Moon, the full moon associated with their most aggressive campaigns, were relentless, targeting captives, livestock, and horses. Their reputation for brutality was well documented, with torture methods designed to maximize suffering and psychological terror. The Comanche, like many indigenous plains tribes, did not share European Christian views on sexuality. Premarital sexual activity was common and not stigmatized. Virginity was not a central cultural value for either gender. Young people were often free to explore relationships before marriage. Courtship involved gifts, songs, and horse trading. A man interested in a woman might offer horses to her family as a sign of respect and commitment. Women had a strong voice in accepting or rejecting suitors. Polygamy was practiced by some Comanche men, particularly warriors or chiefs who could support larger households. Women were respected managers of the household and had influence in domestic and social matters. They raised children, maintained the teepee, prepared food, and participated in rituals. Female warriors did exist, though rare, and some women held prominent spiritual or healing roles. Like many indigenous cultures, the Comanche recognized individuals who didn't fit traditional gender roles. These people, often referred to today as two-spirit, might dress, work, or live in ways associated with the opposite gender. They were often respected and sometimes took on important ceremonial or spiritual roles. Children were taught about relationships and growing up through stories, observation, and community life. There was no formal sexual education, but they learned by watching adults, listening to elders, and living within a tightly knit social fabric. Early heterosexual activity, despite this openness, masturbation was discouraged, as it was believed to lead to homosexuality. The Comanche lived in teepees, portable, conical dwellings made of wooden poles and buffalo hides. These structures were ideal for their nomadic lifestyle, allowing quick assembly and disassembly. Their diet consisted primarily of game meat, buffalo, deer, elk, bear, wild turkey, foraged plants, roots, wild potatoes, prairie turnips, leafy greens, preserved foods like pemmican, dried buffalo meat mixed with fat and berries. Men wore breechcloths, fringed buckskin shirts, leggings, and buffalo robes in winter. Warriors earned elaborate feathered headdresses symbolizing bravery. Women dressed in knee-length buckskin dresses with leggings, often decorated with intricate beadwork. Both genders wore braided hair, sometimes adorned with beads or shells. In Empire of the Summer Moon, author S. C. Gwynn pulls no punches in describing this tribe's brutality. No other group, whether facing Spanish, French, Mexican, Texan, or American forces, matched their capacity for destruction. For the Comanches, acts that horrified outsiders were simply part of their warfare strategy. Their extreme violence served as psychological warfare, demonstrating they were not to be trifled with. Though their actions appeared demonic, each raid followed calculated tactics with clear objectives. This grim reality contrasts sharply with Hollywood portrayals like The Lone Ranger, where Johnny Depp's Tonto, actually from a peaceful tribe, was inaccurately depicted as Comanche. The film whitewashed history, portraying Comanches as noble victims rather than the fearsome warriors they truly were. When confronted in San Antonio, the tribe fought viciously rather than surrender peacefully. Their retaliation provoked a fierce Texan response that left 35 warriors dead and many more captured or wounded. The failed prisoner exchange negotiations sparked even greater Comanche vengeance. Rather than honor agreements, they subjected their captives to drawn-out executions, demonstrating their merciless approach to warfare until the bitter end. Under the pale glow of the plains' full moon, horrific scenes unfolded as Comanche women exacted vengeance upon their captives. Naked prisoners, children, and young women alike were staked out near fires, subjected to unimaginable mutilations before meeting their end in flames. Among these victims was Matilda Lockhart's 6-year-old sister, her suffering joining the chorus of anguished cries that pierced the night. These brutal practices served as the dark counterpart to the Comanches' remarkable military success. Their fearsome reputation as Lords of the Plains was hard-earned through both strategic brilliance and calculated terror. While their methods appear barbaric by modern standards, they viewed them as proportional responses to colonial aggression during the late 18th century expansion into southern territories. The Comanche's rise to dominance represents one of history's most dramatic military transformations. Originally a relatively primitive plains tribe, their acquisition of Spanish mustangs in the early 1700s revolutionized their warfare capabilities. Their equestrian skills soon surpassed even the renowned Apache warriors, effectively halting Spanish northward expansion across a 250,000 square mile territory. Their military economy relied on raiding, stealing livestock for both sustenance and trade, often exchanging horses for advanced weaponry. Tragically, the same mercilessness shown to animals was frequently extended to vulnerable captives. Elderly prisoners and infants often met particularly gruesome fates, while women faced systematic violation before execution. This cycle of violence escalated as the Comanche demonstrated willingness to pursue vengeance across extraordinary distances. Each colonial attack on their people was met with disproportionate retaliation, creating a self-perpetuating spiral of brutality that would only end with their eventual subjugation by settlers. Historical accounts, including T.R. Fehrenbach's Chronicles of the Parker Family Massacre, reveal the Comanche's fearsome combat methods. During these raids, multiple generations of victims, and like the Frostmen, often perished together while attempting to flee. The Comanche maintained an absolute refusal to be taken alive, considering capture worse than death in battle. This warrior ethos extended across genders, with women participating in combat and young boys undergoing violent initiation rituals. Their decentralized social structure contributed significantly to their reputation for brutality. The Comanche warrior's toolkit evolved over time. Traditional weapons, composite bows, their most feared armament, stone-headed war clubs, bison jawbone weapons, tomahawks and lances, innovative defenses, specially crafted shields for mounted combat. Later additions, firearms acquired through trade or raids. Their military strategy included lunar warfare, preferring full moon nights for raids, cartography, creating detailed battle maps for war parties, equestrian dominance, unmatched skills in mounted combat. The Comanche practiced an animistic belief system where all natural elements possess spiritual essence. Manitou served as the supreme spiritual force. Rituals maintained cosmic balance, sweat lodge purification ceremonies, vision quests for personal revelation, Sundance communal celebrations. The sacred calumet ceremonial pipe served multiple purposes, ratifying peace agreements, facilitating prayer, consecrating war councils. The Comanche revolutionized plains warfare through mustang acquisition and training techniques, developing North America's largest horse herds, establishing a thriving equine trade network by the 19th century. Their profound horse connection extended to the afterlife, where warriors were buried with their steeds, battle ponies received ceremonial paint, favorite mounts were sacrificed to accompany their riders eternally. Prominent Comanche figures included Chief White Eagle, diplomat, El Sordo, tactical genius, Buffalo Hump, military strategist, Quanah Parker, last war chief. As the last echoes of war cries faded into history, the Comanche left behind a legacy carved in blood, spirit, and hoofbeats. They were the storm that shaped the West, both feared and revered, brutal yet brilliant. Their story forces us to question, were they the villains of the frontier or its most unconquerable heroes? Imagine riding under that infamous Comanche moon. Would you hear the ghosts of warriors whispering secrets or the screams of their victims? The truth lies somewhere in the dust, where painted ponies once thundered across the plains and where history still struggles to reconcile the terror and the triumph of the Lords of the Plains. What do you think? Genius strategists or ruthless savages? Victims of circumstance or architects of their own destiny? Comment below. Would you have dared to face them?